1-0 pitch to Wilyer Abreu.
High fly shot deep into the alley. That's way back there. And that ball is gone. It is out of here. Abreu again, and the Red Sox break it open. A 3-run laser beam.
Sit on this slider. Oh, you're throwing a bunch of them, Jackson. I can see you from the dugout, from the on-deck circle, and he just laid into this one.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Boston Concessions. I really feel like I've already done this. Is anybody else? Am I missing something? Why am I? What is happening here? Here we go. So, yes, we had already done this. But what happened? Audio issues abound, and somebody went to go play it, and it wasn't there. But we didn't start off like that. We started off in a different way. I've basically got like some really good excitement. I'm going to redo episode 12 and a half. Didn't want to leave you hanging because a lot of stuff I actually covered. Well, I wanted to get it off my chest. Again. And I'm just a little... Ooh. I'm a little discombobulated because everything and a half and like my keyboard just fell. Sweet. All right. Got everything. That's everybody doing. Welcome to episode 12 and a half of Boston Concessions. I'm your host, Topher. We are brought to you by SSBN, Small State Big Network. All the boys down there enjoying opening day, which was yesterday. And wow, was that something of a highlight to see? Because, oh man, I still have my antics where I'm not watching. I'm not watching live games. I have my reasoning. I like my reasoning. Thank you, Alex Cora. I support the team in other ways. I will not watch any actual game due to you. So, we got a lot to cover. I'm basically going to go over the basics of what episode 12 was. Going to bring back. I would have been really, really mad if I had a guest on and I had to cut that because I had to go back and listen to the Travis thing. When I had Travis on and we were doing the episode, which is episode 11, audio and everything was there. Audio and everything on a playback was there. It's showing to the fact that like I have audio for just whatever reason. It just doesn't want to show audio within what I'm hearing and everything else. So, did some tests. I did an update. Going on, but either which way, I'm here. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get into it. Bottom line, like I said, opening day, it was a great day for the Sox. And of course, like they had a game today, not so much. So the 162-0 is not happening. I'm sorry, but we can be 1-1. We can be friends. Just we have to do it in like a different demeanor. I'm just loading up here. I hate when I have to do these 0.5 shows because for whatever reason I am so like out of left field on like a normal basis when like I'm going. All right. So, looking at this, Thursday the 27th, Red Sox 5, Rangers 2. It was a very, very nice day. Wilyer Abreu making his debut for the year with 2 slambos. yes, he had 4 RBIs on the day, 2 home runs, 3, like it looked like 3 hits. So he's batting 1,000. Congratulations. Christian Campbell with a gorgeous hit. His first of his career. That ball was saved. Saw that within it. That was basically the amount of it with Jaron Duran, 1 for 4. Everybody else went for a swing. Rafael Devers. Oh, potty training, buddy. Garrett Crochet. As everybody stated, he looked like a rock. Very big, very performing. Very sneezy. I muted that to make sure like everybody was doing it. Sneezy number 2. They always come in twos. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 sit downs and walks away. Garrett Whitlock. 2 innings pitched afterwards. Allowed 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and then Aroldis Chapman and Justin Slayton just said, hey, the game's over. Here we go. Red Sox winners yesterday, 5-2. However, today, well, the Rangers decided to make a little bit of a walk. How do they do that? Tanner Hulk letting up 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 Ks. Greg Weissert came in, and Brennan Bernardino basically closed the door. Weissert with a strikeout. Trevor Story with a hit. Rafael Devers, good night. Alex Bregman, Connor Wong. Connor Wong had a base on ball. Wilder Abreu was 3 for 2 that game as well. He had the only RBI. For the Rangers, Jack Leader took the mound. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run with 4 Ks. Sean Armstrong, Mark Church, Colby Minor, Jacob Wegg, Luke Jackson. They used a lot of pitchers. Congratulations, boys. RBIs were Jake Berger, Josh Jung, and Jonah Heim basically popped in for the Rangers. It's been an emotional piece. And where do we sit? Well, we're sitting on the cusp of one of the things that basically made me mad, and it's the month-long speculation of Rafael Devers finally sitting down, finally saying, hi, I'll take the DH spot. And where was this? Because I remember post-spring training, you're getting into like a lot of stuff. This is where your aspects and everything are going. And you're throwing tantrums. You're throwing fits. Why? Because you're sending your agent out to tell the team, no, I'm not DHing. I'm not doing anything. Sitting here listening to him, watching over a couple things, do I see the sensation that this guy is mad? Yes. Is he showing it? No. Because his tune is completely changed. His tune went from whiny baby to pouty Peter, just because. I mean, we covered this when the story hit, because it was one of the days I was going on, and of course, what transpired? What happened? Oh, we were looking at a third base. We were looking at a third baseman. We were looking at Alex Bregman. Hey, we got Alex Bregman. Now what do we do? Oh, well, if you place third, what do? Rafael Devers' agent right away. No, he's our third baseman. Timeout. Wait a minute. Who's the GM of the team? I'm trying to think here. Oh, yeah, that's right, too. It would... what the hell happened here? Well, as I have camera difficulty, which is fantastic. Yes, it was Craig Breslow. Breslow was the guy. Breslow was he is the GM. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then, of course, you have everything else that goes into play with who's the man running the club? Alex Cora. He's the guy on the field. So when you're having that kind of issue, what's to say anything else is going on? So you have to be that person that steps in and shows up. You have to be that person that steps in and says, "Hey, we've got this going on. We've got this going on." And it's amazing to the fact that like you have somebody that wants to tell you, "Hey, this is how this is going to go, and this is where you're going to get this feeling." It's got to be somewhere. It's got to be where. Uh, my point of it is, as I'm like battling with this friggin' thing with my camera. This is wonderful. The bottom line, you have to at least see when somebody says something, do it, be it. And you're not getting that at all. Now, all of a sudden, like fast forward a month later, he's willing to take the role. He's willing to step into the role. What changed? What told him to the fact that like this was happening? What made it that he was the guy? Because the last time I knew anybody who was being the instrument of a DH was that of David Ortiz. And David's a really good character for that. He's everything to the fact that you want. But now, for the start of the season, Devers is basically not hit. How do you go from complaining one way to just not being the guy now? And where did you falter? What happened? Kind of like my camera. What happened? I myself, like that's what I need to know. That's where I need to like figure this out. Because in a method, in a way, yeah. There's so many sanctions and so many ways that like this should have been corrected. Is it to the fact of, hey, there we are. Is it to the fact that like he just had this issue and now you put the lights on and then everything goes? And now were you scolded behind the scenes? Were you told you were going to sit? Because I've basically told people how I feel about Rafael Devers right now. And a friend of mine basically put it into good perspective with me. Bobby Dahlbeck did not make the White Sox. Why did Bobby Dahlbeck not make the White Sox? Because I don't think he has it. So the Red Sox holding on to this prized possession of Bobby Dahlbeck until the Bobby Dahlbeck experience ended. Where did it go? Well, it went out the wayside. What happened? And decided to go in a different direction. Was Bobby Dahlbeck the answer? No. Well, now you see to the fact that he can't even make a different ball club. So you held on to this guy. You could have had other pieces in play. You could have had basically everything you wanted and more. And you kept a guy that is not even making another major league roster. Fantastic. Let's document that. Because, hey, want to go into something else and more. Okay? I sat here multiple times talking about Jackie Bradley Jr. Everybody was gung-ho and high up on Jackie Bradley. He signed monumental deals, okay? 10 plus million. Didn't make it. Went to free agency. Signed with the Brewers. We traded Hunter Renfroe, who was doing really good with the Sox, for Jackie Bradley, where we took on more salary with Jackie, and he didn't even do anything then. So when you look at a lot of pieces like that, no, when I say a guy stinks, don't push me off. Don't make an assumption to it. He stinks. Okay? He's basically your bedroom stink factory where you have your like dirty laundry. It stinks. You do not have a formality with that. You don't have merit with that. That's the part that pisses me off. And it's not that like I could say, hey, you know, the guy hasn't hit. He has. But I kind of hit proper with Devers. He's been a horrible third baseman. Horrible. It's like him and Jackie Bradley switched. Jackie Bradley, according to people, stood defensively. Not really. He was average at best. But put the gold star on him because you want to. Okay, fine. His defense was good. It made plays, but when I'm doing pirouettes to make them seem like they're over the top, no, I don't need that. But he did have the defense. What did Jackie Bradley have? I mean, what did Rafael Devers have that Jackie Bradley doesn't? Offense. Yes, every once in a while he hit a good home run. He made a hit. He also at one point batted the lowest in the league since the 1930s. You can't grasp anything like that. You can't plagiarize to that. He sucks. Now let's go on to Rafael Devers. He can field the ball, great. Does he error? Yes. Is he a risk in the field? Yes. Does he know first base? Not really. Did he want to learn first base? Not really. Somewhere along the lines, the babyface assassin wanted to play the field. Great. Forward to, if I'm remembering something, I remember the fact that the Red Sox wanted to keep a DH role open and available to giving people rest and focusing on what they needed for their hitters to make sure everything went on okay. Now, we got Rafael Devers in here, and he's now 2.0, leading it out to be as it is. And it's a bum situation because, well, yeah, is what it is. I for myself, I can't focus on something like that. It's a little bit disappointing. It's a little bit to where, like, you know, there's more to do with it and then some. And what's this thing doing? I for myself, I can't get into I can't get into the motions of it because Is Rafael Devers like a beloved person? Yeah. Is it something that somebody's gonna make a difference with? Sure. Is he probably going to be a really, really good hitter? For now, yes. Is it going to be worth the money you're going to pay him? Probably not. But hey, let everybody be that as it may. You want to love Rafael Devers, go for it. I feel to the fact that money could go to a better locale. Do I think to the fact that like in 2-3 years you're going to be focusing on Weiler Abreu? Do I have a feeling you're going to be focused on Marcelo Meyer? These young kids that are basically coming up? Yes. Do I think Rafael Devers is going to fit somewhere in that equation at some point? No. Because again, you're not David Ortiz. You're probably not going to be David Ortiz. So to get David Ortiz money in capita to just be an everyday DH, no. And are you like, if you even decide to move on from Rafael Devers, are you going to lose? Yes. Why? Because nobody wants a glorified DH anymore, or they don't want a DH that's going to basically be just their hitter, because at some point they're going to have to put them in the field. And is it going to cater to what people want to see, what people want to watch? If it gets you a run or two, great. But if it's not consistent, like right now, Rafael Devers at the DH position, what's his sole job? To hit. What has he done? 0 for 8. This is your number 3 hitter. This is your slugger. This is your guy to get. And, let's put it this way. The day Weiler Abreu had, I expect Rafael Devers to have that. And there's somewhere within the scene, not Weiler Abreu, Rafael Devers reminds me of Mark Bellhorn. Really good hitter. Really good strikeout candidate. I just don't see the comparison where he's going to be fine over the next 2 years when he turns 30 being that hitter. He's going to want to field. Now, can he train in the field, get better, and you make an assumption to it that something can be done? Sure, that's great. Carry on, my wayward son, and make something happen. Until that day, I'm not being that guy. I can't be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I don't even want to look at that. So, we got to look at actually something really, really cool. Show you right here as we add it. Hey, look at that. It's Chris Sale.
We got another look during the break at that first pitch from Chris Sale, and it's pretty clear that it was a tribute to El Tiante, the great Louis Tiant, who passed away this offseason. There it is. Is an absolutely perfect rendition of the windup he used so many years. That's pretty cool, Will. We got another look during the break at that first pitch from Chris Sale, and it's pretty clear that it was a tribute to El Tiante, the great Louis Tiant, who passed away this offseason. There it is, an absolutely perfect rendition of the windup he used so many years. That's pretty cool, Will.
So somebody shared that with me, and like one of the things I thought that was absolutely amazing was Chris Sale giving a nod to El Tiante, who I've met multiple times at a Red Sox game. El Tiante is amazing. He's one of those guys you desperately want to see. He loved every fan. He would shake your hand. It was that and more. And just for the fact that Chris Sale doing that, just makes monumental nods. And I myself wanted to bring it up because it's a good moment when, especially for me, I'm a Sale fan. I love Chris Sale. I love you know, the lot of things that like Chris Sale has basically done. I like to the fact that, like, you know, certain things that have basically happened. And that just create that good atmosphere. And for me, do I kind of miss him in a Boston uniform? Yes. Do I understand why it was done? Yes. Do I have to break it down in that manner? Yeah. So to be fair, it is what it is. It's not something I'm like really going to be like, oh my God, about. But, you know, be that as it may, everything as it's going, yeah. Hopefully he has another good year with the White Sox. I mean, not the White Sox, the Braves. And he makes do for what it is, and I'll still be watching. You know, again, do I wish it was being done in the Red Sox uniform? Yes. But when it comes down to money, when it comes down to like he's the perfect example of, hi, I got injured. And here I am touted with injuries, and the Red Sox are doing nothing for it. And oh yeah, by the way, you're back from injuries. Oh, you're able to do this. By the way, we traded you. Because do I really feel to the fact that he needed that $30 million contract? No. Could he have been with 20 and got away with it and probably shelled out and been completely fine? Yeah, because you basically would have been looking at what the market is for him. With no injury prone, with not a lot of pieces, and you still would have had like an ace starter. But I think for methods in that manner, you needed a fresh change. You needed something that basically said, hey, let's move on. Let's make do with what we got and keep it at that. It's been wonderful talking about baseball. Baseball is, of course, one of those lovely pieces where you can just get into it, make it two for what it is. But what else do we got on the docket tonight? Oh, got a lot. Celtics are playoff bound. And as I pull them up here, they'll be playing San Antonio, being Saturday. They had some pretty good games. They beat the Suns 132-102 without Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum was sitting. As it was when they played the Kings, he had an altercation with Sabonis where he basically tweaked his ankle. He's been, you know, trying out some things. He's been seeing how everything goes. And it's eyeballed to the fact that he might be available for Monday. Which Monday is looking like they play the Grizzlies. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 9 games left on the docket. And then after that, it is playoff bound. They are number 2 right now. Within the season, for the standings, the Cavaliers are ahead of them. They have 4.5 games. Now, if the Cavaliers actually break that mold, the Celtics have like won 7 in a row. Cavaliers are on par to like be losers again because their last 10 games are 5-5. The last 10 games for the Celtics are 9-1. So it is possible to make up those 4.5 games if to the fact the Cavaliers continue to lose. Now, could that make you the number 1 seed and you're playing the 8th seed right now? Yes. Because right now, if the bracket closed today, you'd be playing the Magic. Now, I made this quality key piece to somebody between the Hawks, the Magic, the Bulls, and the Heat, out of 9 games, can you make up a game and a half and put yourself out of it? Yes. The Hawks have lost 2 straight. The Magic have lost one. The Bulls have won 4, especially that popper. That, oh my God. We just saw like an abundance of, it was Laker Bulls back and forth, and 3.3 seconds left. The Bulls came down right to half court, popped up a prayer, and beat the Lakers. Oh, yeah. We love when that happens. Anytime you can shut down LeBron James, I'm happy. But yeah, like in the Eastern Conference, you're not looking at anything between like from 6 up. From 1 to 6 is basically solid. The last 2 spots, so when you're looking at the Hawks, they are 23.5 games back. And then you look at the Magic, they're 24 games back from like so they're a half a game away from the 7th seed. Then the Bulls are 2 games back from the Hawks. And then the Heat are 3 games back from the Hawks. So it's going to make, like, however that happens, you could see a battle between the Heat, the Bulls, the Magic, and the Hawks to get into the playoffs. That's huge. Because right now the Bulls are being championship caliber to get in there and play for, the offseason. Do I think to the fact that they can do it? Yeah. It just depends on if the Hawks keep on losing, if the Magic keep on losing, who drops down in the standings. Do I think the Raptors can do it? No, because they'd have to make sure like everybody lost. And then the 76ers, Nets, Hornets, Wizards, yeah, they're garbage. The Thunder are probably going to be the Western Conference heavies. I was looking at this. The Mavericks are completely gone. They're the 10th spot. So the Kings are 5 back from the Timberwolves. I basically see that walking in. See, the Western Conference is such a tight-knit race. And here's the reason why. The Thunder are at the number 1. The Rockets are 13 and a half games back from the number 1 seed. What does that mean? Oh, well, I'll tell you what it means right now. What it means as of the current moment is looking at this, they're 13. They have to win 13 and a half games to catch up with them. And the Rockets are 9-1. Either which way, they're in the 2 seed. They're fine. The Nuggets are 2.5 games back from the Rockets. So they're the number 3. The Lakers are 4.5 games back from the Rockets. So are the Grizzlies. The Clippers are 5.5 games. The Warriors are 6 games. Timberwolves are 6.5. So if you go on a run and some of these teams lose, can you gain momentum to go up in the standings? Yes. Can you make something happen where you take a number 8 seed or a number 9 seed like the Kings and possibly put you in the 8th seed? Yes. Because right now they are 5 games back from the Timberwolves. Now, if the Timberwolves continue to lose, but the Kings also continue to lose because they're 3-7 over the past 10, then yeah, you're not going to really do anything. But the Celtics are in good spots. the standings for where it are, if they started right now, they would be playing the Hawks. I like the matchup. It's not too bad. Of course, it's Trae Young. But like I said to somebody, do I feel to the fact that the Celtics are going to have a problem with somebody going 7 games? No. They have way too much depth. They have control. They have consistency. They've been everything and a half. They've been showing their championship muster. Has it been for like the top part of the league? No. The part I will state to the fact that what's been monumental when I look at it is the Rockets. And that's Ime Udoka taking over that team. Again, for the last 10 games, they've been 9-1. This is the guy that was supposed to coach us and take us into a championship. And here's Joe Mazzulla doing it. Now you basically have Ime Udoka showing who he is, going to the Rockets and showing that same caliber for what you've got. I like it. It's spot. Good job. And there we go for being the Celtics. All right. This 0.5 thing. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I know like where like I'll carry myself like, you know, over the next topic, like just taking the moment. I'll say it before we get into the Bruins. I am working on a couple things. Not only just between the scenes where it's here, but bringing a little bit more where like, you know, it might be something fun, something exciting, something you know, that everybody can basically sit there and like, oh hey man, you changed a couple things. So expect the changes. Just like we're gonna do to like the next segment. And hopefully more guests. I like when people come in and sit and they relax and it's like, oh man, we can get this, we can get this, we can do this. You know, I've got games, I've got like monumental questions that I like doing. Because I always ask, I like asking people how they feel about things. Or like just some random craziness that's like, you know, on my head. Hey, I've never asked you this question. What do you like? Like knowing to the fact that like somebody can really get into nuggets. I love nuggets. And for me, like my go-to right now is it's a 50 pack at Wendy's. And I'm not saying I eat the whole 50 pack, because no. But I do split it with my dad. It's like 25-25, and that's fine with me. No fries, no nothing. It's just like a 25 pack of wings. But it's 50 nuggets at Wendy's, and it's $25. I thought it was 20, it's 25. What's the difference in $5? But it's fantastic. It's like, ooh, wingy. And I'm monumental with the ghost pepper ranch. I used to be the give me the honey mustard and like go to town. Now it's like, oh, I want that spice. I need that spice. The spice is amazing. So yeah, that was my brief anecdote to nuggets. So I'm happy. We're gonna switch up right now. I had a really good segment during like the episode 12 that is now gone. And we're gonna play a little bit more into that. I'm gonna pull up my Facebook right now. Because why we're gonna go on to Facebook. We are going to find the Boston Bruins. Why, pray tell, are we going to find the Boston Bruins? Because there's a lot that has basically come about. There's a lot of things that have basically been pitched They did give some good feelings to the Sox. And of course, on the 27th, we talked about it because 6-2 was the final. With the Boston Bruins, they lost to the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Gordon Bombay came in and just said, "Hey, we can't lose to this team." And yeah, so I started reading comments that were left. And why was I reading comments? Well, I was reading comments because it goes back to the couch GM focus, where everybody has it. Everybody wants to be the GM of the team. Everybody wants to be that guy that, oh, listen, you gotta fire Sweeney. You gotta fire Neely. You gotta fire you. It's like, no, you don't have to fire these people. You have to get an adjustment. Or is there one person whose head I've been calling for? Yes, Sweeney's. His delivery, his mentions, things that he's building towards, it's garbage. Okay? Do I understand the Jacobs control the team? Yes. Do these fans? No. Listen, the Jacobs own the team. So if they say to Neely, we want this done, go do it, and make sure you get receipts, well, he's going to go to Sweeney and say, hey, get this done. I need receipts. Now, whether or not Sweeney does it right, does it stupid, or does it wrong, are you going to blame Neely for that? No. Are you going to blame the Jacobs for that? Maybe. Are you going to blame Neely for that if he goes and does what they wanted, but he did it wrong? He still got the job done, but he got like the worst return. That's on Sweeney. Do I trust the draft aspect with Sweeney? No. Do I trust the team's direction with Sweeney? No. What is Neely's capability? He is the president, which just has the connection to pass information from when the Jacobs want something done to the GM to get it done. So can I blame can I blame Sweeney for 90% of this? No. Can I blame him for 80? No. Can I blame him for 60? Maybe. There's a lot of merit that goes along with what you look at. And when you're looking at posts from Boston Bruins on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on anywhere, there's always the fire Neely, fire Sweeney, fire Neely, fire Sweeney. Let's have a fire sale. Fire them. And one of the things I did go into, like the episode that will not ever be aired, it's now gone. Listen, I'm going to say this to every fan. I want this monitored to every fan. Stop getting on the goalie. I know you don't watch the games. I know you don't streamline them afterwards. You're looking at every comment because you're going along with the fire Neely chance. You're going along with the fire Sweeney chance. You're going along with the fact that Swayman sucks. Okay? This happened the same way with Tuukka Rask. Goalie got paid. You guys got butthurt. And then you hated the aspect afterwards. Grow the fuck up. Okay? I'm going to say it. Has he been playing to his caliber? No. So next, this is where I'm at right now, and this is what I'm watching, and thankfully, I will have my receipt. The past 2 years, everybody has been on an upswing with Jeremy Swayman. And not only have they been on an upswing with Jeremy Swayman, but they've been monumental to where, he has not played this bad, okay, in any of the 2 seasons he's been up prior to this season. So you don't have bad moments. You have a couple bad games, but granted, you're playing 40, 50 games because you're splitting with other goalies. Are you meant to have a bad game or two? Yes. Are you perfect? No. Are you human? Yeah. So where is this coming out? I'll tell you. You have a good game, everybody loves you. You have a bad game, everybody cries. If to the fact that, and I said this about Rask, if you took Jeremy Swayman, put him on the trade block, you'd have 31 teams in the NHL reaching out to you, wanting to trade for the kid, and even taking on his contract. Okay? And when he goes there and he looks like a stud, like Joe Thornton did when he got traded, I don't want to hear it. Because look at the metrics. Look at the metrics. I'm comparing this to Joe Thornton for one simple reason. Swayman is a stud. Did he have a good season? No. Why? Is anybody questioning why? Why didn't he have a good season? Where did he not have a good season? Point me the direction as to why. Oh, wait, you can't. Oh, you're going to go down to the fact like it had to do with the contract. He wasn't ready. He wasn't this. Could have been the locker room. Could have been the coach. Could have been something else that was going on. Could have been anything in that team that screwed this around. Yeah. Are you in there? Do you understand this? For those that are listening on Spotify, I'm getting very close to my camera, and I'll tell you why. Because it's true. You all seriously want to give Jeremy Swayman this write-off to the fact that he's horrible. For the past 2 years, you've been up his nutsack for how great he is. You've been up his yam bag to tell us how great he is as a starter. He needs to start. He needs to start over Omar. Okay? And then you got a portion of the team. You trade the dynamic. There's a new dynamic coming in, and everything else is going wrong. The coach is gone. The locker room's in turmoil. I know. Pasternak's playing to his ability. Let's blame Swayman. Does that math? No. It doesn't math at all. Who's your leader of this club right now? Because I'll tell you right now, and I hate to say it, and I'll probably be somebody like that gets a huge embarrassment of stuff, okay? Marchand was not a captain. I said it. I know people are going to be upset. I don't care. He wasn't a captain. And I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. He was the assistant captain. When Bergeron left, a portion of this team left with it. There was passion that wasn't there anymore. There was leadership that dropped down. There were things that people looked at when he was here that are different now as your captain. Maybe he was a stronger voice. Maybe he made stronger opinions. Do I see Pastrnak being that person? No. Do I see McAvoy being that person? No. Do you have to find your voice again in that locker room? Yes. Whether you trade for somebody who's going to come in, where they're supposed to be, show it as true leadership, and make those commitments, that's what needs to happen. But do I see it happening anytime soon? No. You have two good goalies. Korpisalo is a decent goalie, a good number two. He's going to get you everything in the world. Is he going to get lit up? Yes. But it doesn't all, like, here's the point of, like, you know the people who've played hockey to the people who haven't played hockey. If you know to the fact that your defense is trash. T-R-A-S-H. Trash. Do not expect great things out of your goalie. When you're letting up pucks, when you're not picking up guys in the slot, when you're not getting to, like, that puck, getting it out of there, when you're turning it over in your own zone. Your goalie needs a rest. Get it the frig out of there. Let them breathe. Oh, you turned it over? What more did you expect? When you sit here and you tell me, this is all on Swayman. Swayman's bad. Swayman's this. Let me tell you how bad Swayman is. Okay, I'm listening. Oh, look, a soda can. Oh, yeah, that's how badly I'm listening. I decided to look at an empty soda can, then look at you. Fans need to understand this is not a team that was here 2 years ago. This is not a team that was here 3 years ago. This is not a team that was 4, 5, 6 years ago when you were playing for the playoffs, gunning and gritty and everything in between and trying to get there. And I'll tell you point blank, one of the things you had that was gritty in it was a guy you guys wrote off the minute he signed a $7 million per year contract. He wore number 40, and you treated him like garbage. Now you're looking at Jeremy Swayman, and it's Tuukka Rask 2.0 again. Every single person has to trash the goalie. Look, you want to be a true fan? Here's a way to be a true fan. Get actual material. Don't tell me Swayman is Swiss cheese. Don't tell me to the fact he's letting up soft goals. You're a harebrained friggin' moron if the only thing you can do is read a thread. Oh, yeah, soft goal. That works. Oh, Swiss cheese Swayman. How's this? I want to go into your work, and I actually want to see if you're the viable guy. If you're the guy that everybody loves. Everybody, like, you find the guy that's a leadership in your building, in your job. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the manager and I'm going to say, hey, fire that guy. We don't want him. He needs to go. So what do? You go in, you talk with him, he fires your main guy. Let's see where you're at. Because now you're going to do his work and your work in order to make the workday and the workflow happen. So by all means, let's see where you're at. Because $20 says you're not going to be the team that you expected. Everybody said last year Charlie Coyle was a different person, and then came into this year exactly what the expectations were for last year. But he blew expectations away, and now he went back to the normal Charlie Coyle. What happened? On defense, McAvoy, not the carry. Hey, wait, let's look at Carlo. Is he carrying his weight? Nope. Could you see it in the year? Yes. On again, off again. I can go through 5 of the players, okay? The only one that's been consistent, okay? The only, actually, couple players that have been consistent for what they do, okay? Jeremy Swayman. Yep. Out of the past 2 years, this is the first bad year that he's had. And people are writing him for it. And then David Pastrnak, who, mind you, let me go up to this. He is now the 5th player in Bruins history with 4 consecutive 35-goal seasons, going from him being number 5, Cam Neely being at number 4, as he's had 5 from 86 to 91, Peter McNabb with 6, who's tied with Rick Middleton. Peter McNabb did it from 76 to 82. Middleton did it to 78 to 84. And then the man, the myth, the absolute Phil Esposito 8 times in history, okay, with 35 goal seasons from 67 to 75. Okay? If you want something to garnish off it and you want to tell me that Pasternak is not doing his job, by all means. But is he showing his captaincy? No. Is he showing leadership? No. So what is that doing for everything around him? It's failing. It's failing at every comparison because you are putting up these numbers. You're doing original stats. You're doing everything you need to do to pump your stats. But what are you doing for the team? Are you going out to score another goal because you know you need the game winner? No. Are you making it to where, like, oh man, we're down by 3. At least let's fire up the team. Let's try to get another goal to where we're now down by 2. That someone else can make it down by 1, and then we can tie. Are you going into the goalie section and talking with your goalie going, hey, we got this. Let's help you and let's strengthen it? No. There's a lack of that leadership. There's a lack of everything. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard to go into this? I'm trying to find, there was something from Causeway Crowd. Okay, Cam Neely sends a loud and clear message to the Bruins locker room for the next couple games. He spoke on subjects including roster changes for next year, potentially. He knows his team has 9 games left in the season, and with a depleted roster, he's looking for one thing. It's about how we finish and seeing what guys may want to step up and show us that they're NHL players. So when you have Fabian Lysell, he's having a lot of eyes on him throughout the future. He was a 2021 first-round pick. He's doing well down in Providence. He needs to come up. You know? You've got John Beecher, and you've got Henry Jokaru, who was acquired from the Sabres at the trade deadline. They're auditioning for a job next year. What they're showing is that the fact that, like, they're not going to make anything, you know. But when you're going in and you're talking about the next 9 games, this is something like, if you're not showing who you are and you're not going out there and proving to the fact that you want to be on this team, when your numbers up, whether it be your years, whether it be anything else, you're going to see that change because you're not going to be here. You could be, hey, you're going to be a free agent. Cool, great. You're going to go to another team. We're not going to take you back. Could you see that with a couple of guys that should have actually came back and showed strength with the team for year 2, year 3, guys that Sweeney's traded for? Yes. There's that monumental aspect that you could have had this and you didn't. You failed it. You let it ride. You didn't bring it up to like where it was or had its potential. And that's a disappointing aspect to it. And this isn't stuff I did on the previous episode, like, you know, where 12, like, episode 12 was like, hey, let's talk about this. But I did talk about, you know, people's reactions. And this is basically everything here. And you can actually tell who watches a game and who doesn't. Somebody saying, start giving the fans back ticket costs. I've never seeing a professional hockey organization completely ripped to shreds like this, it's utterly disgraceful, and that's an understatement. Shameful, really. You paid for the tickets. You're not going there to see them win all the time because they're not going to. What are you going to a game for? You're going for the ambiance. You're going to the fact of like you're going to spend on $5 hot dogs, okay, $20 beers, and you're going to sit there and have an experience. What do you want them to refund you for? To the fact that they suck? You're not going to win with that. Just take it as it is and go. I'm ready for the season to be over, but not as ready as I am to see Sweeney and Neely unemployed. This team has been gutted like a fish and has completely lost its identity. It's both infuriating and heartbreaking. To this fan, I will tell you, it is infuriating. It is heartbreaking. Because when you're a diehard Bruins fan, especially when it comes from me, that is true. Am I going to see Neely gone? No. Am I going to see Sweeney gone? There is potential. Am I going to explain myself? Yes. And the reason for my explanation is Cam, as a president, answers directly to the Jacobs. He does not answer to anyone else. He does not answer to us. But Cam has always had the best intentions for us. Okay? He is the conduit between the Jacobs and your general manager. Now, to state that Neely has not done that job, he's probably stopped the Jacobs from doing monumental things that are 30 times worse on this team. Does anybody see that? No. When you're the guy sitting on the owner's shoulder and you're doing your job, there are certain things you can control and there's certain things you cannot. Welcome to the land of what Neely does. He controls those pieces to make sure that you're not losing, say, Marchand 3 years ago. You're not having the team gutted because no one was happy 5 years ago. Okay? You're not having the dynamic that, is what it is taken away from you. Okay? When something comes down from the Jacobs, you can't do shit. So, do you have that control? No. Do you have a lot of things that happen? No. Now, Sweeney, on the other hand, when he's told to make a deal or try to do something with Marchand, if he's going to Neely to get that help, which he needed Neely in order to get the deal done with Swayman, he needed Neely in order to get a couple other things done. Is he material to be a GM? No. Is he good as an assistant GM? Is he good as a scout? Is he good for these younger players, understanding and knowing? I feel to the fact that he's taken a back seat from that a couple years ago, and he's not getting the right amount of draft picks, nor is he building up for what he needs to. There's a failure on that. Fire Sweeney and Neely. Everything that has happened this season is entirely their fault. Plain and simple. Tonight was rock bottom. Anaheim doesn't blow out anyone. No heart with these guys. Sweeney and Neely need to go. I like this one. This is a good thread. Is Felger, meaning Felger from Felger and Mass, still hyping that Marchand was the problem? Someone responded with, and where are all the people that were commenting after the trade that it was the problem was because they won 2 games after that, but not a single one since. And I like this because someone actually shows he was the problem, and it says captain goes down with the sinking ship, and it's showing the Bruins ship going down, but Marchand with a little skidoo taking off. I like that. Why can't they not get the puck out of their own zone? Every other team has one pass and out. We backtrack, reverse, sit and wait for the other team to attack. Hey, what does that cause? Turnovers. What does that do? Stress on your goalie. Ha! This is, at least they know, like, this guy here. Well, at least Morgan Geekie has been a bright spot. But we risk losing him now. That's one positive from this year, but not too many. Kastelik is a fourth line guy. That's about it. And and people do like state to the fact he has been frustrating to watch defensively at times. He's been a good up and down factor, but he's not an answer. I'll give it as that. Can you get more out of Morgan Geekie going forward? Yeah. Do you need to like emphasize on that? Sure. So this is what a rebuild looks like. It's painful but necessary. Be nice to have cap space for next year, but I don't think it'll be enough to get 4 top 6 guys, which is where we're at right now. Even the vets look lost. To emphasize on that, do you need top guys? No. You need someone of a veteran presence. You need something that grows, and you need someone that holds other people accountable. You don't have that. That was Bergeron. That was Chara. Now you have Chara as basically a guy behind the scenes. Is it possible to carry this? Is it possible to change this? Yes. But where do you go from here? What is going to be, what is going to be the change? Here's something. Here's this greatness. Fire Neely, fire Sweeney, fire Sacco. This team is in shambles, and those 3 are the cause of it. They're all terrible at their jobs. They've destroyed this team. The most important reboot was never on the ice. It's always been in the polluted front office. These 3 need to go. Bring better people, attitude-wise. Stanley Cup champions of 2011 are a million miles from what this sad sack of potatoes has become. By the way, you won in 2011. What was 13? What was 19? Like, do they forget to the fact that, like, they went all the way to the finals? Gregory Campbell is assistant GM in Florida. Maybe he'd be interested in being the Bruins GM. Not really. I understand that they brought Chara in recently, but no one seems to know what he's doing. He's monitoring. This is where, like, when you don't know the inter politics, he is a liaison, which personally to me, I have a feeling he's the next GM. Okay? Because he's going to be the players GM. He's going to be the guy, like the guy that the players go to. He's going to be the leadership in order to pull everybody in and be that person. That's what you want. I think he can make a difference in attitude and pride. Same with Bergeron. Sweeney, Neely, Sacco have all failed this team by poor cap management, over-the-hill free agents, many overpaid, and a long string of lousy draft picks. Let me correct this dude really quickly. Okay? I've said this with the Patriots, which I'm going to cover in a few. You can only go after what is available. Now, where they're trying to keep draft stock, can you trade for positive players that will make an impact? You can, but now you lose out on your draft stock. You lose out on your future. So you're bringing in somebody in order to make a splash that may make or break anything. They had good seasons. They had good rapports. And, dude, if you paid $1 for them, okay, and they didn't perform properly, what's the difference between $5 million and $1? Nothing. You're playing to your potential. And if $1 isn't even worth the potential you have, Are you still wasting money? So, like, that part makes no sense. Over the hill free agents. Where? You got what you got. You had nobody available. Nobody was agreeing. Nobody was signing on the dotted line. You had to take the next best thing. You had to go with what you had. Mind you, what was the other thing you were doing with it? You were bidding with other teams. This is where, like, this guy is flat out being a couch GM. He thinks he knows the politics behind the thing, but you only see one aspect of it. You're not seeing the other. That's the failure of this. How long do you think Bergeron, Chara, and Krejci would have let that go on? Two games ago, the Bruins were outshot in the third period, 20-0. Next game, they had just one shot on goal in the third. Is that something you point to Neely and Sweeney on? No. Is that something that they're looking for in order to, hey, here's where we need to work on. We need pressure in the offense. We need positive defense. Is that why certain people left? Yes. Is that where, like, everything else is coming into play? No. So I do like that there's a guy that actually comment to everything, like, you know, to like and it's the perfect aspect. Then what? So that's a good question though. I want to emphasize on that. So you get rid of Neely, you get rid of Sweeney, you get rid of like a lot of things that like are basically going on, and then what? Who do you bring in? Not only that, what Neely and Sweeney would have actually dealt with for this year, that same general manager, that new general manager is going to deal with the same thing. And if you have scraps now, scraps next year, how do you fix it? The question now remains, do you go out, take your draft picks, and go, here's this draft pick and this draft pick. Do me a favor and get me these guys. Oh, it's going to cost you a player in that. Okay, fine. Now you've just weakened your team to strengthen your team somewhere else that you don't know how it's going to reflect. See Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall was promising coming in. We traded him with no problem. Why? Because there was a chance to get draft picks, and they didn't figure Taylor Hall was going to fit. But also, you gave Taylor Hall this monumental contract in order to be where it is. Okay, cool. And did he live up to the contract? No. So what'd you do? You found a way to get rid of him. You got a couple draft picks. You gave up a couple draft picks, but you got something better in the process. Okay, and you basically like wash it away. I don't know what the heck else to tell you, but if you're not showing me what you're going to get back in a return, you're already out the door for anything that's going on. That's basically where I'm holding caliber right there. Okay. I like this person. So this is Sway's fault too. We left the first two periods with only 9 shots on goal to their 25. Tried to come back a bit, but too little too late. No defense, no scorers, nothing but penalties. They scored on our power play. I've got nothing. I feel bad for Corpusalo and Pasta. People will blame Swayman on that. They'll just say that his contract holdout is the reason this team is tanking. And then somebody makes the comment, why are you letting Swayman off the hook? He's been terrible. They've all been terrible. And someone put it perfectly. Not letting him off the hook, but it's about time more of this dumb fan base is getting the rest of the team as well as management instead of trying to put all the blame on Swayman. Until recently, seeing how awful the team has been post-trade deadline, so many Swayman haters refuse to acknowledge that while Swayman has been pretty bad this year, you can't completely discount how terrible play the team in front of him has impacted that. We've been in the same boat with any other goalie. Hellebuck, Bob, Shurkin, and Gustafsson. No goalie in the league was going to be able to carry this disaster anywhere this year, especially with so many games without Lindholm and or McAvoy. This person made my day, putting it right there. You can't blame one. You have to blame many. Get over it. And even with the fact somebody actually recorded that Pasta was -5 last night. So yes, I've been looking at things like this. I like this. Should have let Swayman finish out the season, take the beatings. Yeah, but then like you get more people that like complain about it. This is like where like I get passionate about it, and I don't play. I used to play couch GM a lot, but I used to have my method of playing couch GM to like other people is if I'm sitting there, I'm trying to get this person. I'm trying to get this person. If we don't get them, okay, fine. You know, I'll take what you got. But I want to see the outcome of what happened. But then I play the what if game. What if we did get him? That's where my couch GM comes from. I'm wanting something that's going to be lively with it. But, you know, and again, it's also this Korpisalo faced 39 shots on the Ducks 20. Far better end than if Swayman had been in net, and always is the team's effort a lack thereof. No D or back check or forecheck. So when Korpisalo's in net, it's the team's fault, but Sway's in net, it's his own fault. Got it. That's a logic of far too large of a portion for this fan base, unfortunately. And then the person who made the aspect comes back with reread my post. I said, as always, team effort or lack thereof, read before trolling. And then it's Swayman knows how to track a puck and not have a puck glance off your mask and behind you because you have no idea where it is. If Sway's in net and 6 goals go by, he's a piece of crap. But if Corpy is not, unbelievable. Both are good. The team in front of him is not good. I just love the fact that, like, you know, again, people love to do it, and then people call out for everybody else, and it's like, yeah, you just, ooh. We got on Bruins topic. I love it. All right, now the big news that I was hyped about, before losing out on a lot of things, and I don't have to do math because I actually have the math here. This is what I like. So, a couple days ago, Patriots made a huge splash. What was it? They signed Stephon Diggs. Can we dig it, sucker? Yes, we can. Why can I dig it? Well, the masses wanted a number one. The masses wanted a number one wide receiver. We went out and got one. And you get people that, 3 years, $69 million. What the stop? This is Couch GM 101. Do not complain for getting a number one wide receiver. Number two, in football, do not under any circumstances, go for the full amount of years and the full amount of money. Let's go for what it actually could be. 1 year, $26 million. It is $26 million guaranteed to this man. That's it. So $26 million out of the 69 is fully guaranteed to Stephon Diggs, no matter what he does. He could be exactly what he needs to be. He could be on point with being a number one wide receiver. He could blossom Drake May for his second year. He could work well with the other wide receivers. And if that's the case, is he worth the $26 million? Yes. Do you go a secondary season with him? Yes. Do you strengthen with everything? Yes. Now, here's another factor. If he sucks, if he's injured again, if the ACL isn't holding, if there's more of a problem going forward, I'm only spending $26 million. I'm not spending $69. What the hell's the matter with you people? Did we take a back seat to that? Can we get out of our own way, please? I love that. I love that, and that's what I look at, and that's what I care about. There we go. Ding, 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 ding. And that's true to the statement of like what people go on. Like it's what they look at. They'll look at the everyday focus of, hey, we just spent 3 years. Here's $69 million. What's the key? What's the key method of everything that's going on? Hey, it's just this. Where's your betterments? Where's everything that could be done? Where's the things that you need to get done? Well, they're not there. They're out the door. So I myself am going to look at things as, can you be better? Yeah. But everybody that, when I'm in a chat and somebody else is doing like their show, their podcast, like I was in on the Joe show when the Stephon Diggs breaking news was going on. And Joe Murray of 98.5, who we love and adore. What's up, Joe? When he's talking about Stephon Diggs and someone comes in, it's like, I'd rather have Cooper Kupp. And not only to the fact that you have to sit there and wonder, okay, who's better? Who's better? Cooper Kupp or Stephon Diggs? Stephon Diggs has basically made two quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins, he basically put on the map because of everything he was. Josh Allen, which when Josh Allen had nothing, it was just him and Dalton Knox. Hello? Where are you going wrong there? And now, he was on par for a 1,000-yard season when he tore his ACL when he was playing with the Texans, because he had about close to 500 yards with CJ Stroud. So if you're showing you're on par to do something and you're going from team to team to team, and you're showing not only to the fact that you can get things done, but you're showing your passion. I've heard everybody sit there, Stephon Diggs is a diva. Show me diva mentality. He is not A.J. Brown. He is not Tyreek Hill. He is not diva material. What is he, though? He's a winner. He's a fighter. He wants to fight to win. You can't fault somebody with that. This man is going to go down as one of the better wide receivers in history that has not won a Super Bowl. That's Calvin Johnson right there. I believe it's Larry Harrison as well. Larry Fitzgerald. These guys are the best of the best, and they have the participation trophies that go along with it. Like, Pro Bowler, high stats of the year for a wide receiver. Like, you're well known for what you are, but do you carry the motion to be the number one? No. Does that hurt you? So, do I feel that something more can come out of this? Yes. So, we got to correct this. We've got to make it do for what it is. So, let's do that. So, what I did was I concocted, because, again, when I'm listening to somebody and one of the things comes off is, oh, well, I'd rather have Cooper Kupp. Stop. Backtrack. Tell me why you'd want to have Cooper Kupp without telling me you'd want to have Cooper Kupp. Because Cooper Kupp is good, but he's not Stephon Diggs. I mean, I can sit here looking at everything and go, I looked up the past couple guys that were available, and I gotta say, like, it makes me laugh. So I'll revert to this manner. Okay. So Cooper Kupp over the past 5 seasons, okay? He had a total of 5,245 yards, 36 touchdowns, and he played 65 games. That was Cooper Kupp. Okay? He had, and this was the saving grace. In 2020, he had 974 yards. In 2021, he had 1,900 yards. 22, he had 812. 23, he had 737. And in 24, he had 710. Now, mind you, his max was playing 17 games in 21. He didn't go over 12 games after that. Okay? 15 and 20, 17 and 21. And then he had 9 and 22, 12 and 23, and 12 and 24. 36 touchdowns, which his biggest was in 2021 because he had the 1,900 yards. He scored 16. But after that, he hasn't had like anything over double digits. But you guys want Cooper Kupp. We got you. Now, if we go to... This is where this gets extremely detailed. This is Stephon Diggs. +16 games this season. Okay, out of the 5. So his lowest was 16. It was like 24 was when he was injured. But he had 16 games in 20, 17 games in 21, 16 and 22, and 17 and 23. So he missed a game per year. His yardage, 2020, 1,500, 21, 1,200, 22, 1,400, 23, 1,100. His injury-prone season, 496, 4 yards shy of 500. And that was only in 8 games. His touchdowns. 2020, he had 8. 21, he had 10. 22, he had 11. 23, he had 8. 24, even though playing 8 games, he had 3 touchdowns. Could that have changed with another 8 games if he wasn't injured? Sure. But to the fact that he averaged 8 touchdowns a game. Well, I mean, 8 touchdowns for the season. He played 14.8 games a season versus 10.8 for Cooper Kupp. And then he had 1,100 yards a season average with those 5 versus 1049 for Kupp. So proof is in the pudding where you really want to go to it. Who's the better person? Where's the better option? Because if I had my choice and I had my way, I have to look at that in light of a different manner, which is when people sat there saying, "Oh, Cooper Kupp was the better guy," go to Seattle. Like, go to Seattle. Show your muster for that. Like, be everything you need to be. Because I'll tell you, like, straight up, no. Like, there's better moments than what you got with everything as it went. Like, no. You could have been so much better, and you are so much better going with Stephon Diggs. That's what you want. That's where you're going. That's where it's going to be. Carry that. Be that. And anybody who wants to, like, down on the fact of, like, Stephon Diggs getting signed, will you look at the bigger picture? This is going to help Mac Jones. This is going to build around the wide receivers because you just strengthen the wide receiver core. Diggs is going to be double teamed. He's going to have one-on-one matchups. He's not Tyreek Hill. He's better. Just, he doesn't want the ball every time. He just wants the ball when he needs it. Gene Hackman, lovely man. God rest him. Winners always want the ball. And it's true. Maybe that be the fact for Stephon Diggs. You know? Good old replacements action. Winners always want the ball. Why do they want the ball? Because they know they can win with it. Stephon Diggs knows he can win. He wants to win. He wants to go back to the promised land of, hey, I can be that guy. And maybe he sees what Austin Hooper actually sees in Drake May playing with him for one season. He sees so much potential, so much growth, so much aspect where he can be that guy. If that's the case, why DK Metcalf didn't want to come here? Because it's funny. He went to Pittsburgh. Who's the quarterback? Right. So both of the quarterbacks that were there went to New York teams. Yes. So what happened? Who's your quarterback? You know, we understand that we understand Deebo Samuel wanted to go to a contender, wanted to go to somebody that was actually going to make a difference. So he went to the Commanders. Does it make the Commanders more of a threat? Yeah, pretty much. Does it strengthen their offense? Yes. Does it strengthen Jaden Daniels? Yes. Me personally, do I have a feeling that Drake May had a better season than Jaden Daniels? Yep. Jaden Daniels had all the numbers. He had everything and a half like what you want in the numbers. But there's one thing missing. He didn't have adversity like Drake May did. He had the offensive line. He had the weapons and tools. I want to see guys that basically fight, be gritty, and grow, because that's where your next Brady's coming out of. Brady had basically like all the money basically went into a top offensive line. And some of the guys weren't even like top of the best, sir, with honors. If you know the movie reference, let me know. But yeah, Brady didn't have the best, but they worked together. They strengthened together. They made everything together. It wasn't just, hey, pieces in a line. It was one line. And the other pieces around him, let's put it this way, he didn't have the high class, wide receiver core that everybody and their mother would. Yes, he had a Randy Moss, for like a couple years. But where was the strength like later on? You had Julian Edelman. You had Wes Welker. Those were more trivial parts to his arsenal that allowed for like a Deion Branch and anybody else you want to throw in that wide receiver like selection that made him stronger. Do I feel that the Patriots have something like that of a core? Yeah. Does Stephon Diggs bring that to another level? Ask yourself that. To me, yes. I see it as it's an echelon level. Because now when Diggs goes deep, which he's going to, what's that going to leave? It's going to leave somebody like wide open to like take over like a spot. It's going to leave somebody in the aspects where you can just drive and do. I like that. I need that. That's exactly what you want with a guy like this coming in. That's your strength. That's your deciphering. That's your everything and where you need to be. Anybody who's not liking this deal, take a stronger look at it. Because I've looked at it since the signing, since the deal, looking over things, and I'm like, where can this go wrong? Do you have the money? Yep. And again, don't look at like, hey, this year we're like taking $69 million off the books. No, you're taking 26. That's it. I talked with somebody and I was like, what's the matter? Was, oh man, like we signed this guy and all the money that we had like just went off. I'm like, what do you mean like all the money went off? Yeah, they're paying him like 3 years and like such and such million. I'm like, right. So if it's 21 million, 7 million a year. 7, 14, 21. So only 7 million comes off, not the whole 21 million. Oh. Couch GMs. That's where it's at. The couch GMs. But I have other things, and it stinks to the fact I had to redo this episode. But we'll get into more. There's a lot more coming. There's a lot more everything that like I have like planned. Hopefully the audio doesn't cut and cause gripe again. I'm glad I was able to recapture the roots and the carry that I did with the with the last one. Hopefully it will be good. But till then, to everybody, please have a good night, have a good morning, have a good everything, have a good weekend. We'll be back Sunday night, Monday morning at midnight as we record. Not re-record. If I have to re-record this, screw it. Episode 13 is in the wing. But we'll be back. We're planning something like really special, hopefully for after WrestleMania. Yes, it will be a WrestleMania induced show. Hopefully that'll be the Sunday night, Monday morning episode that we'll go through there. But other than that, I thank you for joining. My name is Topher. You've been listening to Boston Concessions. An SSBN podcast. We are absolutely loved for everybody who comes and hangs out and also subscribes to us. And also gives a listen, considering I know I'm a little bit far-fetched, but I like being in the wings for where I am. So, till we talk again, have a wonderful one, everybody. And mind your couch GMs. They're dangerous. Take care, all.